President Obama called the chemical attacks on Syrian citizens last August a crime against humanity. The International Criminal Court, or ICC, is supposed to investigate and prosecute these types of crimes, but the court is coming under scrutiny. Here with some insight into the answer is law and public health professor Eric Stover, director of the Human Rights Center at UC Berkeley. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Stover, the ICC was established in 1998, and it was an international court of sorts to prosecute war crimes for the most part. What types of crimes and what types of persons do they prosecute?
These are the most serious crimes. These include genocide, as we saw in Bosnia or we saw in Rwanda, crimes against humanity, which are crimes that can take place during war or after war, but involve massacres throughout countries, and what are generally called war crimes. So, but most of them are going to be crimes against humanity and genocide. These are the most serious crimes. You're going for the big fish, not for the little fish. You're going for military leaders. You're going for leaders of countries, commanders, and so on, who have command responsibility and often order these crimes.
Okay. Now, over the past decade, ICC member countries have dropped from the original, I think, 160 to 121 as of July, this past July. Of these governments, I want to break it down for folks. 34 are from Africa, 18 Asia Pacific, 18 Eastern Europe, 26 from Latin America and the Caribbean, and 25 from Western European and North America. What's missing here is the U.S. We're not one of these countries. How come?
We're not because, frankly, under the Bush administration, the attitude was that the fear that American service personnel serving overseas could potentially be taken to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. And so we decided not to join. And this is really a misrepresentation, because the court is a court of last resort, which means if you, the United States, have a situation like we did in Iraq at Abu Ghraib, if you have a military commission, you investigate, you hold trials, and you punish those responsible for those crimes, which we did, no one will ever go to The Hague to stand trial. So we really need to understand that the potential of American service personnel being taken to The Hague is very, very small.
I see. The ICC postponed the trial of Kenya's president for crimes against humanity until February of next year. And other countries have accused this court of targeting African countries, and even a few have threatened to withdraw, I understand. Do you think this undermines the court's effectiveness, having this sort of withdrawal, or people saying, hey, look, you're biased against certain countries?
Well, another misconception. 34 African states are members. We have an African chief prosecutor. We have many African members who are judges, and the majority of cases are, or all the cases are from Africa. But that's because these are where some of the most serious crimes have taken place, and they need to be investigated.
Well, as we mentioned, President Obama and human rights groups said the Syrian regimes have committed crimes against humanity, or they're at least indicating that they may have. Do you think these crimes will be investigated by the ICC, and do you think they'll be prosecuted?
Not in the near future, and the reason for that is the Security Council is one of the mechanisms for referring cases to the ICC. The United States voted at the Security Council to refer the Libya case and also Darfur. The Syrian case would have to be referred by the Security Council, but with the Russians and Chinese on the Security Council, there's no way that we're going to refer Syria. So it may have to be a different kind of court will have to be established.
I see. This court, the ICC, doesn't have a police force, so how do they investigate and basically bring these people to court or to trial?
Well, the prosecutor's office itself will launch its own investigations. It can do this through all sorts of evidence collection, exhumation of mass graves, social media, remote sensing, you name it. But that it is at the mercy of states. So it's state members have to go out and arrest those who are being tried by the court.
What do you think needs to happen to make the ICC more successful?
I think the greatest bump it would get in its success would be the United States joining. And I think that's not going to happen soon, but I think sometime in the future we'll see the United States as a member of the court.
Okay, law and human rights professor Eric Stover, thank you so much.
Thank you.